like it's just a typical story.
What would you suggest, like, in improvement?
Well, it reminds me of Up, just without the good storyline. It's like it's the start of that
Oh yeah, I
in
know
a
what you mean.
music
Where
video.
she dies and it's all sad.
Yeah, and then he goes to find the house.
Takes
the house with the
You think it's not
balloons.
original enough?
No, it's a
Have
bit.
you seen a music video that has a similar narrative before?
Yes,
Did you like it?
I like this. Yes.
Okay. Point proven. What about the changing past and tense? Do you think that's like too simple, too confusing?
No, I think it's good. I like how it goes
understand?
from that, goes through that, and then goes back to it.
Returns to the same point. Okay. What about like symbolism, like having the PS I love you, the...
So it's cute, but it's a bit gay.
Okay.
But
Is that
I
because
get
it's
it.
a boy
Yeah.
who's reading the book and not the girl?
I think the whole fact that he bookmarked it on a certain page is a bit... That doesn't
You wouldn't do
mean
that.
any point. That makes no difference, really.
Okay.
She should start the book from the start.
Do you think the narrative is clear enough with her returning to the same scene? Like, is it
Yeah.
clear that he dies
Yeah.
and that she... Like, so you understand it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in Up when he has the chair, that's still hers.
Okay.
And, yeah. So
What
it's
about-
basically Up.
Like, characterisation.
Huh?
How do you feel about the characters? Like, it centres around a couple and a romance.
Yeah.
You have any opinions on that?
No? Just a cute couple.
Would you watch this music video? Like, how would you
If
rate it?
If I liked the song, I'd watch it.
If you liked the song,
It's
okay.
not really to do with the video.
So-
to be honest.
Actually, you think that if it works well with the song, then this would be quite a good music video,
Yeah.
if you like the song. What do you think about the locations, like where it's set?
I think they're good settings. Like, you got the lake, and that's typical of a couple with their bread feeding ducks and that.
Do you like that scene?
Yeah. I think the fact that she's blowing bubbles reminds me of a bit of a 5-year-old, though.
Explain why.
I think that's a bit...
Okay, so we've used the bubbles as almost a symbol for the delicacy of their relationship. You know, if you touch a bubble, a bubble even,
It pops.
it pops.
That-
Yeah, so we're going with like the fragile aspect of
Okay.
life. So he dies later on. We find that later on in the video. So we've used the
Did
bubbles.
she touch
as
him and he popped?
a figurative device. Not exactly. I think maybe you've
How
misunderstood.
did he die?
We've deliberately kept the reason behind his death quite generic. So it's not about why he dies. It's about their relationship and the effects of his death.
So you don't care that he's dead?
No, that's the point. She cares that he's dead. It's not
Oh,
about
okay.
why he dies. It's that he's died.
I like the setting in the first two with a window when it's raining, because it's proper like sad.
It sets the atmosphere well.
Yeah, and it reminds me of Tracy Beaker, because in one of her episodes
So this is
She's saying-
a
no,
method
it's
that
sort of
other
it's sort of a
films have
mix
used.
of yeah,
Okay.
like it's sort of a mix of loads of different things that I've seen.
Is that good?
Like,
Familiar.
yeah.
Familiar
Yeah,
kind
'cause
of
it's like Up,
scenes.
it's like that Codaline video as well, and Tracy Beaker.
Which Codaline video?
All I Want, is it?
All I Want.
No,
It's
the
funny
one
you
where-
should say that.
The one where they're married and then
Oh, High Hopes.
and then they get shot at the end.
Yeah, High
yeah,
Hopes.
that one, not All I Want.
No.
That one, High
Okay.
Hopes.
Do you like Codaline's music videos?
I like that one. But not
What
many
about the
others.
fact that this music video is entirely narrative based? Like, there isn't a singer who plays a role in the video, so there won't be anybody singing. It will be purely their story.
It makes it more like of a story rather than it just seems like somebody acting if you have somebody singing.
Okay, so do you prefer that, or you're not really bothered?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, that's good.
They just lip read badly if they try and sing.
Okay, you prefer purely
Yeah.
narrative. Okay, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
It
It's
jumps
okay, I
from
can cut
present to past tense and back again. Do you think it's too confusing?
No.
You understand like the symbolism of her wearing black, her holding a photograph. You think it's clear to the audience what's happening?
Well, only one ticket is back.
Yeah, no, like that's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
What about these scenes, like where they're a couple? Do you think, like, what about the locations of them, like at a lake, in a field?
It's a bit stereotyping of a romantic couple.
Do you think it's too cliche? But is the meaning clear? Like, they're familiar kind of scenes. They convey to the audience that they're a couple, so it helps with the meaning.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. What about the characterisation about the fact that he is the one to die and not her?
It doesn't really matter.
What about the fact that he's reading a book?
You might just like reading books. She could be the one reading the book and she could be dying. It wouldn't make much difference.
Okay. What about the lantern scene?
It's quite sweet.
Would you watch this music video?
I would. I'd like to watch it now, but you've not made it.
What about the fact that it centres around a couple? Like, do you think that appeals to an audience? Like, does it appeal to you that it's about a romantic relationship?
Or do you think it would be more successful if they were friends?
Relationship, because it's easier things to do, like all the cliche stuff. And you see loads of videos and it's all about relationships and all that.
Do you think it has a bigger impact on the audience than if it had been a friendship?
It depends how close they were as friends. But obviously, if they're like best friends, then I think it would be equally as sad.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
I can't think of anything else to say.
What did you think of the narrative? Like, you understood it?
Yeah. Quite well thought out.
Easy to follow, but
Yeah, easy
not
to
too
follow.
simple.
Yeah, not too simple.
Yeah. What about the change in past tense and back again? Was that like? Do you
Yeah.
think it'd be too confusing or?
I don't think it would be too hard to follow unless
Okay.
the person's particularly slow.
What about the fact that you don't actually see the character die? Like, do you think that will affect their understanding of what's happened, or do you think
I
there's
think-
enough there to?
Yeah, leaving the character's death out is not needed. It's sad enough without it.
Okay.
So there's no need to see
you
the
don't
character.
need to see him.
No, you only need to see
actually
him
die.
actually dying. There's no point for
Okay.
that.
What about the fact that it's unclear what's caused his death? Like, we've chosen not to include that because we thought it's more about the effects of his death rather than what he's actually
Yeah.
died for. But do you think
Again, it's kind of not really needed. The narrative is sad enough without it seeing his death in it. So there's no need or
Okay.
seeing how he died in
Yeah.
it. No need for it.
what about these scenes where they're a happy couple in the middle? Do you think they're like too stereotypical? What do
A
you
bit
think about
cliche
it?
maybe, but it
Mm.
does help the audience understand that they were a happy couple together. And unlike the
Mm.
normal one where one guy leaves the other girl, it's a bit of a different twist at the end. So.
Okay, so you think it's not too cliche?
I think that we might give the audience an idea that it'd be cliche, but
Yeah.
then you have a bit of a different ending to what normally
Okay.
happens, so that might throw them off guard a little bit.
Yeah.
They might expect something different to happen, which might work in your favour.
Okay, would you watch this music video?
Probably.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you be sad at the end?
Yeah, I would say so. If it was done well enough.
Okay. What about the fact that he is reading the P.S. I Love You book to her? Like, typically speaking, it's a book mostly read by women.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well, actually. Maybe, I don't know,
Do you think it's unconvincing?
it would make more sense if the girl was reading it, maybe, because it is supposed to
Okay.
be a book aimed
Yeah.
for females to read, not males. But if he's reading it to her, it could be perceived as being romantic or trying to be romantic, so
Okay,
it could also
so
work.
depends how we
It
shoot
depends
it.
how you shoot it, really, in the end, yeah.
Okay. What else do I ask you?
About him dying. It's not.
Oh yeah. Do you think it's relevant that it's the male character who dies and not the female?
Stereotypically speaking, do you like how it goes against it?
Yeah, because normally the male leaves the female dies, which is why I think that your twist is a bit better, because by seeing all the cliché relationship stuff, people might presume the guy's going to leave her, because obviously we see her at the beginning, so
Yeah,
she's not going to die,
She's
so
on her own.
they're going to presume that, but with your twist it's quite something they might not see coming, so I didn't see it coming, I'll admit it, so yeah, it's
well,
not bad.
that is good to hear.
Yeah.
Have you seen a music video that's similar to this, like similar narrative?
Not that I think of, but I don't really watch romantic music videos, so
Okay. So would
wouldn't
you say that the
question.
fact that it revolves around a couple is like in our favour or against, or kind of neither?
kind of neither. I don't think it'll hinder you.
Okay. What about the fact that this is a solely narrative-based music video? There's no singer who plays a role in it. Like, you don't see the artist singing.
I don't like it when you see ice singing anyway, so
So actually, you
I prefer that, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Okay.